All right, we started talking about polygons yesterday, mainly the perimeter of polygons. Today, I'm just going to go over the names of the different polygons according to the number of sides that they have. Go ahead and take these as notes. I don't have any worksheets per se that I'm going to give you just on the names of polygons. So you'll need to write these down so you'll have those as a reference. So we found out that polygons are a many-sided figure, not many like little, M-I-N-I, but many like a bunch, okay, a bunch of different sides. So anything that has, any shape that has sides and it's closed up is a polygon. Now we're going to talk about how many sides. So let's get some names down out of the way. This is the number of sides and then their name, okay? Okay, we don't have a one-sided or a two-sided polygon. We have three sides, and of course, you all probably are very much aware that 3 is tri. Tri means 3, triangle, okay? It also means it has 3 angles. 4, you would think that quad means 4. Okay, quad means 4. So a 4-sided polygon is a quadrilateral. A quadrilateral. Lateral means sides, straight sides. Quad means 4. Okay. 5. I remember this like the building in Washington. Penta. Penta is 5. You've heard of pentagrams. You know, it's a star with 5 points. And penta means 5, so it's a 5-sided polygon. 6. Hexagon. 7 is, I think it's, I'll have to look this one up, okay? Please put a question mark. I'll look that one up. Heptagon. 8, I remember as a stop sign. Octa, like an octopus. Has 8 sides. Octopus has 8 legs. Okay. And then I can't remember the 9. I think it's nonagon. But I'm going to tell you 10, and that's about as far as we need to go. There are names for like 12 sides and all of those. Dodecagon for 12. Right. Pardon?
You're right.
On
7.
Yay! Thanks for looking it up. We are right on heptagon. Look at 9. I think it's nonagon. Bless you.
Sorry. Nonagon?
Yes. Is that it? Yes. Okay. Right on.
Number 8, octagon.
Octagon. 10. You'll probably only need these first few up to octagon, and not even, they don't do 7 very often. 10 is a decagon. Deca means 10. And I don't know 11, and we don't use it very much. 12 is a do. Decagon. I'm pretty sure. Okay. So if you'll just get these in your notes, the main reason you're going to need to know these is when we start to find out angle measures or whatever with a polygon, and usually you'll need these because you'll need to know what they are if they put them in a word problem. Okay, so this is just a part of your vocabulary. So let's make sure you get all of those definitions down. And then we're going to concentrate today and probably probably tomorrow and maybe even Friday just on triangles.
There's not an 11.
There is, I don't know it, we don't use it, so I'm not gonna worry about it. We usually don't use the 9 unless they give you the name. 7, not usually. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 are the most common. Just let me know when you have them all down. And then we'll talk about triangles and some more vocabulary about different types of triangles. Do you have it down, Christine? Okay. All righty, let's move on, and we're going to talk about triangles today. We found out that triangle is a polygon because it has straight sides. Tri because it's three sides. Okay. A triangle, 3 sides. Okay, now a triangle will be named by how many sides it has. And the type of sides it has. It can also be named for the angles. Now we're going to indicate equal sides by using tick marks. Okay, so if I wanted to say that this side, the length of this side and the length of this side are the same measurement, 13 and 13 or whatever, then I'm going to use the same tick mark on those. If you see a picture that looks like this, it's telling you that this side is equal to this side. They don't have to tell you in the instructions or anything, as long as they have the tick marks. If they have this, that means that's a different measurement than this. Okay? So remember your tick marks. Okay, tick marks, they're just the little marks on the sides that tell you what sides are equal and what are not equal. Like if this was 5 and it had this tick mark, the length was 5, and I see the same tick mark here, it will mean that this is also 5. Okay, but this one has 2. So it's another measurement besides 5, maybe 8, or any other number but 5. Y'all see? Mm-hmm. Okay, also in a triangle, you will see other symbolism. We will talk about types of triangles according to their angles. Now, angles, we haven't talked about a lot, but angles have a vertex. Here's an angle. The definition of an angle is a ray here. Remember our definition for ray. It has one endpoint and goes on indefinitely in another direction. That's one ray. And another ray that uses the same endpoint is an angle. It creates an angle. This is an angle. And we're going to identify it. If we want to talk about a certain angle in this triangle, we will say this angle. Okay? This angle. Now, so you can see that a triangle has 3 angles, right? Mm-hmm. And let's just say they're not the same measurement. Okay? Angles are measured in degrees. Degrees. Angles are measured in degrees. And one thing that will help you all the way through some of these problems later on that have to do with triangles is that if you add the measurement of this angle and the measurement of this angle and the measurement of this angle, if you add those together, they will always equal 180 degrees. Always. Even if you have a triangle that looks like that. If you measure this angle, and right now they're going to tell us the measurements of the angles. So if you know this one, and this one, and add those together, the addition will come up to 180 degrees. Always, as long as it's a triangle. Promise.
No, but that doesn't make sense because that I look like an icicle, not a triangle.
Well, does it, does it have three sides?
Yeah.
It's a triangle. Okay, trust me. You're a sweetheart. Okay. So these tick marks like this indicate an angle. Okay. Now we can name angles. The way that you name angles, sometimes, if it won't cause confusion, then somebody might refer to this angle as angle A. Okay, but if we have a problem that has a lot more stuff and the angle is kind of hidden in there, which may be the case sometimes, then if I talk about angle A, I don't know if it's this one, this one, this one, or this one, right? So when we name an angle, we name it like this. Let's name angle A so there's no confusion. And what we do is make sure that the end point that we're talking about, A, make sure it's in the middle. And then this is the symbol for angle, and then you're going to name the points that it goes through. So it could be C, angle CAB. Do y'all see? The only thing you have to remember is the end point has to be the middle letter. So this could also be angle BAC.
Now you know which one's the endpoint.
If I want to do this angle, that means this letter will be, if I want to name this one, then C will be the middle letter. Does that help you? All right. So that's symbolism. I'll go through the worksheets in a minute and see if I missed anything, but now we'll talk about the names. All right. Now, triangles have a name according to sides. Okay. So if we have no equal sides, none of the sides are the same length, it's called scaling. A scaling triangle has no equal sides. None of them are equal. If a triangle has two equal sides, it's called an isosceles. Isosceles triangle. And then we only have three sides. So if all three sides are equal, it's called an okay, equilateral. Lateral means sides. So equal sides, okay? Three equal sides. So if you're going to refer to a triangle according to its sides, these are the three names. Got it down?
Mm-hmm.
Christina, are you there yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now we're going to talk about angles. And before we talk about the names of a triangle, according to the angles, I want to talk to you about 3 types of angles, because we've got to know those before we can talk to you about the names of the triangle.
Okay, got it.
Now, we said that an angle is simply 2 rays. We talked about the definition of a ray a long time ago. A ray is a part of the line that has a set endpoint and goes indefinitely in another direction. And if you put another ray with it, with the same endpoint, then this is called an angle. And we said that the angles are measured in degrees. And the degrees, when we write it, is just like temperature. Okay, we use that little circle up there for degrees. So if we have an angle, okay, if we have an angle that is less than 90 degrees, less than 90 degrees, it's called an acute angle. And the way they tell us to remember that in grade school and high school is they said, if it's little, then it's little and cute, okay? It's an acute angle. Here is what 90 degrees looks like. 90 degrees is perpendicular, and it's usually indicated with this. This little symbol right there says that these are perpendicular to each other. Perpendicular means 90 degrees, okay? So this one is called a 90-degree angle. Is called a right angle. So the only one we have left is one that is larger than 90 degrees. So maybe it comes like this. See how far open it is? And so this angle is really big. It's larger. More than 90 degrees is called an obtuse angle. Okay? Obtuse, and the way they taught us in high school, they said an obtuse is great big. It's like the word obese, okay? Obese, obtuse, it's like a big angle, okay? So that'll help you remember that word, I hope. Now we have one more. It is an angle that there's one of the rays, and here's the other ray, which looks really funny, but it fits the definition of angles, doesn't it? It has the same endpoint, and the rays go in indefinite, directions. This one is 180 degrees. A straight line is caused by 2 rays, and this is called a straight angle. Okay, so you have a 90-degree angle, But if it's less than 90 degrees, it's acute. If it's more than 90 degrees, it's obtuse. But if you have an angle that goes straight across and has that point in between, it's called a straight angle. And a straight angle always equals 180 degrees. Everything in your notes so far? All right. Everything down in your notes? Okay. And there may be some more tomorrow, but what I want to talk to you about now is your worksheet. Everybody has one? I sent these to you all in the email. Let's look at page 1. And it says, number 1 already has the answer, but what they want you to do is give these triangles on this page, they want you to give them names according to their sides. So looking at number 1, it says one side is 2 yards, the next one is 2 yards, and the next one is 2 yards. Well, if all 3 sides are equal, that's called an equilateral triangle. Do you see? So look at the second one. It has 3 inches, 5 inches, and 7 inches on this triangle. What kind of triangle is it?
Number 2,
Yes.
it's a scaling.
Good. It's called a scalene because none of the sides are equal. And that's what you will do for the rest of the page 1. Now, if you look at page 2, they didn't give you the measurements, but they gave you tick marks. So again, on number 1, the same tick mark is on all 3 sides, which means all of them are the same measurement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they called this an equilateral. Are we good? Okay.
What if it has,
Let's look at number 2.
okay, no, I got it. I figured it out.
What is it?
I got it. The 2 tick marks means that those 2 are the same size, because it's going to be an isosceles.
Isosceles.
Isosceles. And the
You
one
can
that
say,
doesn't
I
have-
saw something.
I saw some.
Isosceles.
And then the one that doesn't have any ticks is the scaling.
Yes, because none of the sides are equal. Good job. Moving to page 3. Stay up with me. Don't try to go ahead on the assignment because I don't want you asking later. You can always ask questions, but stay with me on the explanation. Okay, now this one I didn't talk about so much, but you will be able to tell. Let's look at number 1. Number 1. We're going to identify these triangles based on angles. Now it's going to be the same. So look at number 1. And if you look at the angles, I'm on page 3. So if you look, you have 2 angles that are equal. If you have 2 equal angles, then you're going to have 2 equal sides. So what kind of triangle is this called? Oh, sorry, Ben. My bad.
Okay.
That was sides. Okay, if you look at these angles, let me begin again. If you look at the angles, they're all under 90 degrees, right? They're all smaller than 90 degrees. So what's smaller than 90 degrees?
Acute.
Acute. So this is there's not only an acute angle, but this is acute triangle because all of the angles.
I'm talking
are-
about number 2.
I'm talking about number 1.
Oh.
All of the angles are less than 90 degrees. You see? So it's an acute triangle. So let's look at the next one. Look at the angles. And if it has that mark in it, or if it says 90 degrees, then what do you think it's called? What kind of triangle?
If it says more than 90 degrees, right.
A right triangle. See it?
Oh, yeah.
See the little mark? You don't even have to look at the others. If it has that mark that says 90 degrees, then it's a right triangle. Done. Okay, we'll deal with right triangles in the next 2 days. A lot. Okay, let's look at number 3. Yes, it has 2 small angles, but it has a great big angle in it too, that's bigger than 90 degrees, correct?
Yes.
So it's called what kind of triangle? Obtuse triangle. So do you all see what we're going to do on this page? Okay, let's look at the next page. They just mixed them up, sides and angles. You'll be able to do those. Now, let's go to the next page. This says, without drawing a picture, it says there is a triangle somewhere, and I'll do this. It says 86 degrees, 53 degrees, and 41 degrees. Now, you don't have to draw the triangle, but I will. Let's just say it's a triangle like that. And I say, this one's 86 degrees, and this one's 53 degrees, and this is 41 degrees. Okay, we're saying what if? And they said, look at these measurements and see if this will actually create a triangle. Now, what did I tell you about the 3 angle measures in a triangle? They will always add up to 180 degrees. That's exactly right. So what you need to do is take your 86, your 53, and your 41 and add those up. This is 10, 13, 180 degrees. If you add these up, it's 180 degrees. So the answer to the first one is yes, this will create a triangle. Y'all see? Mm-hmm. But if they do not add up to 180 degrees, it is not a triangle, because the degree measures of the angles will always equal 180. Are you good with that page? Okay, let's go to the next page. Now, they left some measurements out. So you have to find the one that's missing.
So you would just have to, okay, so for number 1, you would add 63 to 37, and then you do 180 minus the answer that you got.
You are amazing, Christina. That's exactly right. Did you get the 180?
Uh-huh.
Okay. It says that I have 37, and then it doesn't have anything here, but we know if I add all 3, we know that it never changes. It's always 180 degrees. So if we add these 2 together, we'll know what we have so far. I added these 2 together and got 100 degrees between these 2. So how many's left for this? 80 degrees. Because you take 180, which is the total, and subtract the ones that you know. That's like we did on the perimeter yesterday. Do y'all remember? If you were finding what was left, you took the total and then subtracted the pieces that we know, and that leaves the one we don't know. I'm seeing the faces fade. You need another one? Like number 5? Let's do number 5.
We're supposed to put 80 in that, right? In that question?
Yes, this says, when it says this, on the picture, this is U, right there. It says the measurement of angle U is,
Okay.
and you'll put 80 degrees.
Okay.
Good question. Good question. You want to do 5 real quick?
Sure.
All right. This one says 118 degrees, and this one's 33 degrees. And they want to know this one. This is X, Z, and Y. And they want to know what the measurement of angle Y is. Okay, I see you. Okay, I think I heard the right answer. Did you say 20?
29
29?
degrees.
Let's check it. What we did is say, we added these two together. $151. And then we know that the total is always 180. So we take the total and subtract what we know. And sure enough, we get 29 degrees. So y'all understand that one? Okay. Moving on. Now page 7 has something in every angle, but there are X's involved.
So it's just basically equations. You have to figure out, you'll have to, it has to equal 180, so it's 2 times what plus 40 plus 100.
You are exactly right. You are exactly right. Hello, Sherry. I'm going to put you down in a smaller screen. Here we are. There we are. Okay. I sent these papers just this morning, Sherry, in the email. You're on mute. You're muted, Sherry. Sherry.
Okay. I was thinking, I don't have a page 7.
That's okay. This is a new packet and I just sent it to you this morning.
Okay.
Okay. So on this page, and you are telling me correctly, have you already found the answer?
I just did it in my head. I'm not sure if it's right, but I think it's 20.
Okay, we'll look. I think
I did 10.
you are
I
right.
had 10 plus 40, and then there's 40 left, and then 2 times 20 is 40. So
That's exactly right. Okay. So here it is, and they said this is 100 degrees, and they said this is 40 degrees here, and this is 2x. Well, we have to keep remembering that if we add all 3 up, we're going to get 180 degrees, right? So you can write it as 40 plus 100 plus 2x. If I add all 3, I get 180 degrees. Y'all see? And this is why I taught you to solve equations. Now I put these together. I have 140 plus 2x equals 180. I want to solve for x. So now I have 2x equals 40, which is what Christina did in her head. And then I want to solve for x, so I divide by 2, and I get that x equals 20 degrees. Y'all see? Just look at it for a
So
minute.
we're adding the 100 and the 40 together.
Yes, to get this one. Okay. Now you got to be really careful and read the instructions, because some questions on your GED test may say, find the value of x, which is what you're doing on this page. But some questions, you need to go back and find out what they want. They might say, find the measurement of the third angle. And so it's not 40 degrees. What is the measurement of this angle? Say? No, the x is 20, and so this angle is 40. So you need to be careful and read what they want you to find, whether they want you to just stop at x or go ahead and find the measurements. And they do that a lot. So be very, very careful about that. Okay, and it's just a little bit more on page 8. They add more x's, but you do it exactly the same way. Add the 3 angles together and make it equal to 180. And then use your equation solving skills. Yes? And one more page. Aha. this is what I was telling you a minute ago, is if a triangle shows that you have two angles that are correct, or I'm sorry, not correct, equal. And it says this angle is equal to this angle. I'm just going to do this. If it indicates that I have two equal angles, then I will have two equal sides. Okay? And the sides that are equal will be opposite. So it's this one and the ones that are opposite. So these would be the equal sides because they're opposite of equal angles. Just see. Okay. If the picture shows that you have equal angles, two, then you're going to have two equal sides. Now, which sides are they? You go from the angle that's equal and go, look straight across. And that will be one of the sides that's equal to that side. See, none of the angles point to this side. This isn't one of the equal sides. It's the ones that are opposite. So let's look on number 1. It gives you the side measures. And then it wants you to tell them what is the smallest angle. So find the smallest side and go across. What's the smallest angle? C. Angle C. Because it's clear across the triangle. Do you see it? Then it wants the largest angle. So find the largest side. B. Because see, the largest side is 8.
Yeah.
Travel clear across the triangle. And you'll go to angle B.
From B to 8 inches.
Just since there's no confusion here, you can just call it B, angle B.
Okay.
Read your face. So here's 8. This side is 8, so I will clear across and you'll just say okay. You kind of see?
Yeah, but am I doing that right?
No, you need to go to an angle. So this is the smallest one. Travel across to the angle. Angle C. And across here is the angle. It's not something that's horribly hard. Okay. It's just to move the confusion out of the way. Okay. So I think you all have enough information to attack this worksheet, all 9 pages. What do y'all think? Do you feel okay about it with your notes and stuff? Okay. Sherry, I'm ready to help you whenever we get off this recording.
Okay.
And then whenever you're ready for help on this, you might watch the YouTube because
Yes,
we
ma'am.
got a definition in the first of this YouTube. Okay, and that you will need.
Okay.